Welcome, Muddy TV Crypts, to the Mausoleum at Woodland Cemetery. The Mausoleum at Woodland Cemetery was built in the early 1926. The first people were entombed in 1927. If you walk with me, you'll see lots of names of people that you recognize through town. Some of these little niches are just private for family use. I think back in the day, it was probably a very status driven. A lot of big names in here. Charles Barnum. Most of these people are a lot of odd fellows and Masons. This is another family crypt on both sides. You'll recognize the name for the Dick's Brewing Company.
So what's the idea of having a mausoleum instead of just going through a regular burial?
Some people just don't want to be buried in the dirt. You're usually preserved a little better when you're entombed into a mausoleum. The whole building is Greek in style. It's all marble with terrazzo floor. There's stained glass windows throughout. Some part of these private crypts even have a stained glass mural in their family.
So this, like you said, all marble in here. It looks like there's a lot of marble.
There is a lot of marble.
And how much did the place cost to build originally?
Originally, it was around about $100,000. In today's money, you know, you're going to be well over $1 million.
What's the capacity of the place?
Depending on if you're cremated or just full burials, but we have we have somewhere about 800.
And how many's in here right now?
And we're just short of being full. I think maybe there's a dozen spots that haven't taken possession of yet.
When's the last people that were in here put in here?
Ruth Hill was put in here in 2022, and her husband Kenneth was in 2017. They're our most recent. And then, like I said, some of them were buried out in the cemetery first and then re-entombed in here.
So are the people that are in here, are they in caskets in these, or are they?
Yes, yeah, just a casket. That acts as your vault. They're built so they will take a casket nowadays, as opposed to like the Rogers Mausoleum that we have. Those caskets have to be built in the old style, like a Dracula coffin, you know, narrow at the feet.
So what else we got to look at in here? Let's go and look.
So to entomb someone here at the Mausoleum at Woodland Cemetery, it's kind of a jigsaw puzzle. All these pieces of marble have to come out, and then you would lift off the faceplate and roll them in there. And we use BBs to help roll them in there because, that's a lot of dead weight literally just hanging there to push in there. And then once they're in there, then we have another piece of concrete that matches the faceplate, and we'll seal them in there and then put the faceplate back in there and put it all back together. Kind of a neat thing is when we entombed Miss Bradshaw there, there was something all the way in the back that caught my eye, so I crawled back in there, and it was a newspaper from 1970.
You crawled back into the...
I crawled back in there, oh yeah.
Okay.
Both sides are exactly the same layout. And once again, you'll notice a lot of family names that are quite prominent through Quincy. A lot of Masons.
Is there some specific reason for that, or
Not that I know of.
do people visit often?
Yeah, since I've been here about 9 years, and yeah, we get more and more people all the time that come and visit and leave flowers. And the Gardner family has a private room back here, and Mrs. Brenner, she comes quite often to spend time with her husband, with Frank Brenner, Dr. Brenner. And you'll see, she'll be at the very top when she passes.
So what's your position here?
I'm the sexton at Woodland Cemetery.
And what does that mean exactly?
Which is, in the old days, that's what they used to call him. Just the superintendent. I'm in charge of everything. I live here on the grounds, and I kind of do it all.
So normally everybody shows us their refrigerator, but we're gonna see something different. We're going downstairs, right?
We're going downstairs to the deepest part of the cemetery, which you'll find some...
More than 6 feet deep?
Yeah, it's over our head. But it's a lot better than looking in a refrigerator. So
all right.
Come on down. So this is the basement at Woodland Cemetery, and what I find very interesting to show you and neat is there is a network of drains to each one of those crypts. So as your body decomposes, and we all liquefy at some point, it all comes down through here into the basement of the mausoleum.
And those are from the actual crypts?
Yep, there's a network of drains. And like I said, there's some 800 people buried here. So if you went through the crawl spaces, you'd find them.
How often do you have to empty those jugs?
I've never emptied one. So
And you've been here how long?
9 years.
And there's more over here even too.
Yeah, and here's another set you can look at.
So
I find that extremely fascinating. But you know, a body in the mausoleum is a lot slower to decompose than a body out in Mother Nature.
you mentioned, well, before we turn the camera on, about having to move bodies occasionally.
Yeah, we've had to relocate some bodies in the cemetery due to Mother Nature eroding away a hillside. And
What's that entail?
you dig down as close as you think they're buried, and then you get down in there with trials, and you have to recover as much remains as you can, and then it's put into a body bag, and then we relocated them in the cemetery. And every one of them is placed in the exact same spot, just different location.
How often do you have to do that?
Well, not very often. The guys at Hanson Spear said that they've never seen anybody relocate that many people. We did well over 100 there, some documented, some not, you know, so that was interesting. You have to, the coroner has to be here. You have to get permits from the health department. And every time you have a John Doe, you have to stop. And
What was the reason for the moves?
the hillside on the northwest corner is sloping away. It's made out of blown sand, and it's just sloughing off.
So they were headed toward Gardner Expressway.
That's right. We wanted to get them before they ended up down on the highway. They say that happened in early, when they were making Jefferson Street. It used to be a lot higher bluff, and there was a washout, and bones washed out onto the...
Why are there furnaces down here?
In the wintertime, if we have a service, we have some heat. We keep it about 55 degrees, and that way when visitors come to see their family, they don't have to be so frozen when they're here. You know, it's one giant rock. So once you get it warm, it stays warm for a while. You know, once you get it cool, it stays cool. You know, early spring, it's nice to come in here when you're hot and it's 20 degrees cooler.
So Eric, we're outside and it looks like it's all limestone out here.
It is an all limestone structure. It's in the Greek revival period is what it's based off of. John Wood liked the fact of the columns, and
So John Wood?
it was John Wood is who started the cemetery,
Oh, okay.
1846. And then when he at his passing, it was handed over to the city, but it is run by an organization called the Woodland Cemetery Association.
So this entire building was built in what, 1920?
1926.
1926. Any plans adding anything to it?
Not really necessarily to the building itself, but we are looking at putting in some columbariums and maybe some cremation niches inside. But the columbarium would be its own freestanding structure out here just for cremations. And so we're currently working on that design. At the time of purchase, every family is given a key to the door so they can come and visit at their convenience. Special request, I keep it locked and would let you in if you wanted to see something. So thanks for coming to visit. We like to show it off. It's time for us to get back to letting these people rest. And you to go. We'll see you.
Oh man. Come on, we gotta go, everybody.